And welcome to the Main Event Sports Show. We're coming to you live from the greatness that is the Tunerville Deli and Pizza Pub here in the heart of Old Louisville at 1st and Oak Street, right here in the corner. You can come join us every Monday for great pizza, great wings, great drinks, watch Monday Night Football, listen to us talk about football, the week that was, the sports and everything else. It gets no better than Main Event Live here at the Tunerville Deli and Pizza Pub.
That's right. Haven, it's going down, man. We got the wings. You were over there smacking on the wings. We got pizza. It's missing a couple of slices because we had to take in the ambiance for ourselves.
That's right. We tasted it for you, let you know it's Main Event approved.
There we go.
But you know it's not Main Event approved? The damn Louisville Cardinals football team. What happened? We didn't look when Bobby came back. We did not sign up in year 5 to be struggling to beat Western Kentucky and their third-string quarterback.
Yeah,
struggling.
We talked last week about a rain-soaked monsoon of a game versus Indiana State and kind of gave Louisville the punt to say, you know what? They didn't look their best, but with the weather and the elements, we're going to kick the can down the road for another week, but they needed to come out and have a big performance against WKU.
I'm done kicking that can.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't happen. And, you know, to me, Haven, I wrote about it on the website on maineventsports101.com about the identity crisis that is Bobby Petrino. You know, he's trying to have his foot halfway in what he used to do and his foot halfway in what he wants to do now. And unfortunately, it seems like the victim of most of this is Juwan Puma Pass. Like, a lot of people have been talking about, you know, this is Puma's fault. What's wrong with him? Maybe he's not as good as what he thought. But really and truthfully, I think the guy who's letting Juwan pass down is his coach.
The play call, well, here's the thing. If it was still 2004, 2005, 2006, Jerome Pass would be the perfect quarterback for Louisville's offense.
Yes.
But the new Bobby spread offense, it's not going to work. You need a running quarterback, a scrambling quarterback that can tote the ball most of the time for Bobby's offense to work now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this is the issue, is that you have Bobby Petrino, and Bobby Petrino is trying to run this spread option system with his zone blocking scheme.
Not very well.
Where you're basically going to have a mobile quarterback that can be a threat to run and a threat to pass, and you want to have a small, quick running back that can find the hole in the zone, make one cut, and get up the field. Unfortunately, everybody that he's recruited for the team over the last 4 years has been for his old system with the downhill power blocking scheme and the quarterback that was going to work play action and you know, get his passing yards off a play action pass. So, for me, my biggest issue is how does Bobby Petrino get to this point? And how do you go a whole spring and fall camp, like you're closing camp practices and this, that, and the third because you want to be so secretive, not, you know, so everybody can't see what you're doing, and this is what you come out with, having to completely scrap everything that you've worked on since the spring within 3 games of the season.
Well, not only that, your leading rusher for the first 2 games, Jeremy Smith, wasn't on the team a week before the season started.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know what Bobby Petrino is doing right now.
You know, okay, let's break down the Western game. First of all, they got lucky to beat Western, which is sad to say.
Yeah. It took a big-time special teams play.
A team that lost to Maine, the powerhouse that is Maine football, tossed up WKU.
Yeah.
We're struggling to score points. We're struggling to score points against Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean,
that should never be the case in a Bobby Petrino coach team, that you're struggling to find points.
It's an identity crisis because Bobby Petrino, for some reason, Haven, I tracked it last night. Louisville ran one play the whole night where he had a running back with a lead blocker in front of him. And coincidentally, that one play was the one play that went for a touchdown. They hand the ball off to Dave Williams off left side. They put an extra offensive lineman in the backfield as a blocker, and Dave Williams walks into the end zone.
But that's not what Louisville does anymore. It's not.
And it's completely inexplicable.
That's not what Louisville does anymore. What you see Malik Cunningham is what you're going to get from here on out from the University of Louisville. He will get better throwing the ball. He will get better making his reads. Right now, he's one read and run.
Yeah, I mean, but the issue with this is, unfortunately, because you have recruited your whole team to your old system that you don't want to use anymore, now you're having to play with guys that don't fit. So you're not going to get like Malik is a great player. Okay, he's a great young player. He's a lot more. He's further advanced passing the ball than Lamar was as a freshman by far. He can actually look back there and go through a couple of progressions and complete passes down the field. Lamar couldn't do that as a freshman. But to me, I don't know why this is happening. Like, to me, Bobby Petrino, this all comes down to Robert Montgomery Petrino. I don't know if Montgomery is his middle name, but for the use of this conversation, it's going to be Robert Montgomery Petrino. Okay? And I don't know what is happening with this guy. Like, he is not the same dude that he was the first time around. No confidence.
He's not.
No edge. He had that edge of every game he came out. He seemed like he was the smartest guy in the room, and that you didn't have any idea. Like, he is, what I compare it to is Tiger Woods after the golf club incident. And that's like where Bobby Petrino is right now.
After the motorcycle incident.
Yes.
So I'm going to say this. If you look at Bobby's second go-around,
yes,
you could almost say, if you look at his offensive production, the first maybe 2 years he was here, we won games off the running game
and the
defense.
Yes.
Then we got blessed with Lamar Jackson falling into our laps, an otherworldly talent. Won the Heisman Trophy.
He was never meant to be the quarterback in Louisville.
Gave Florida State the worst whipping Florida State's ever had in the history of Florida State. And I remember one Booger McFarland saying that Louisville's nothing but Lamar Jackson, a bunch of dudes. And we all got upset. No, we got talent. We're not Lamar Jackson, a bunch of dudes. Come to find out, we were Lamar Jackson, a bunch of dudes. You know what? Now, we've been talking about the offense because that's Bobby's specialty. We never thought the offense would suffer. I mean, we can see the defense struggling. But we never would have thought the offense was struggling underneath Robert. But the offense has struggled every year he's been here, except for
that 6-game stretch at the beginning of the season with Lamar his sophomore year.
Yes. But the offense has struggled. Now, here's the thing. I'm not letting the defense off the hook either. Because the defense, although you only held WKU to 20 points, they had at least about 3 drives of 12 or more plays.
Yeah.
They were still running the ball. They could have scored a touchdown. They should have had another touchdown. It should have been 21-7 if they would have kept running further and stopped getting cute like they did. Because they got cute on the 1 yard line and decided we're going to put the guy in shotgun, we're going to run some trick play, This could have ran the ball.
But you know what, though, Haven? I will say this. The defense is a lot better than it was last year.
They're a lot better. They can line up.
But unfortunately for Louisville, with the way the offense is playing, Louisville's going to need, like we talked about for the season, with what we expected from the Louisville offense. We said that Louisville was going to be minimum of 8-9 games if they could have a defense in the top 40. Well, now, with the way the offense is struggling, Louisville's going to have a top 25 defense.
With an offense ranked somewhere around 100 and something.
Right. I mean,
the offense really is, I think it's 102 in the nation.
I don't understand. Like, to me, I still hear people calling in the call-in shows and trying to talk about Bobby Petrino as this great coach. No. Bobby Petrino was a great coach, and that's not a knock on him. But right now, I don't know who this guy is, and I don't even know if this guy knows who this guy is.
The team's undisciplined. I mean, it's just I don't want to hit that panic button just yet. I do not want to hit the panic button. But who would have thought at the beginning of the season, Louisville would be a 5-point underdog to Virginia to start the season?
Nobody.
Louisville has a 14% chance right now to beat Kentucky.
Nobody. I mean, and this is the thing.
To beat Kentucky.
This is the issue, is that I said it before the beginning of the year. Last year, with Peter Sermon was your mulligan. You made a dumb hire, and it came back to bite you. But I said that this year, I don't give a crap how you get it done. 8 wins is a minimum. And I've said that. And I'm not coming off of that. At the end of the day, Bobby Petrino has to find a way to get 8 wins. And anything less than that is absolutely unacceptable. And in year 5, when you've recruited everybody on that team, you dug yourself this hole that you put yourself into.
What made it worse?
It's unexcusable.
What made it worse, you started the season off saying, we're the greatest. I got more speed and more talent than I've ever had since I've been here. This is the fastest team and the most talented team I've ever had. Our offense is going to be better. He actually said our offense is going to be better.
Hey, but Haven, guess what?
He did say that.
I agree with him. Talent everywhere. There is plenty of talent. The issue is not the talent.
It's coaching.
But let me tell you, Haven, if I tell you, you know what, Haven, I love your speed, I love your agility, go down low and play center. Like, that's what Bobby's doing right now.
5'7".
Right. And this is what he's doing. The last time this happened, a guy whose name rhymed with Smagthorpe was here.
I'm going to say it, Cragthorpe.
When Cragthorpe was having what's the running back? What was the running back? The big
Bilal Powell?
No, not Bilal Powell. The big back.
Anthony Allen.
Anthony Allen. He had Anthony Allen trying to run scat back plays and sweeps.
He had Mario Uridia
running bubble screens.
And jet sweeps.
It made no sense then. And what Bobby is doing with this team now makes no sense. You have 3 linemen over 330 pounds.
And you can't get a push.
And you're not running the ball.
No, they run the ball. They're not getting any pushes. Why? Because they're running in a spread scheme without spread running backs.
What happened to the pulling guards, the pulling centers, where you snap the ball, get out, and run block down the field?
That's not the spread. That's not this version of spread.
So then why are you recruiting to it?
I don't know.
What is he doing?
I said this last year, and people got upset at me when I said this last year.
Yeah.
While recruiting guys were recruiting. People looked back, I was crazy.
Well, that's why I said, and I continue to say, you know what? With the guys that Bobby's recruiting, he's recruiting all these 230-pound running backs. He's recruiting all these big offensive linemen. He's going to go back to what he did in his heyday. Juwan Pass is coming in, 6'4", 230-pound quarterback. He's getting back to old school Bobby. No. And you said you didn't think it was going to happen. And it has not happened.
It has. I thought this was what Bobby was going to do, but I thought he would do it in a way that made sense. But he's not. I'm not seeing, if you're going to do this, and if you're going to have your quarterback be your leading rusher, which he is.
Yes.
Malik Cunningham is the leading rusher on Louisville's team for the year. If your quarterback's going to be your leading rusher, if you're going to kind of have the running backs in play, then you need to recruit to that system. If that's what you're going to do, then why don't you go ahead, fire Lonnie Galloway as your offensive coordinator, hire Rich Rodriguez, and do the damn thing, and do it right. If you want to run that spread, run that spread right.
For a guy that makes his hay on the offensive side of the ball, for you to be so hypersensitive, closing down all your practices, not letting any of the fans, not letting any of me to come around and do everything because you got this super secret game plan and you got all this secret stuff that you're working on. You can't scrap all that work in 3 weeks. No. And that's literally what he's done.
They're not scrapping it. They
have absolutely scrapped it.
No, I'm telling you what they're doing. They're putting away the Juwan Pass playbook. He's going through his folder.
How do you not know this?
And he's pulling out the Lamar Jackson from last year playbook, which is Lamar, you run the ball, throw it up, and we'll ride on your talent, which is what they're doing. They're trying to ride on Malik Cunningham's ability to run the ball. You saw it. Malik he looks, surveys the field. If you're not open on that first read, he's gone. Yeah, Louisville's running game got better when he started running the ball.
Because this offense that he's trying to run, the defense has to key on 2 ball carriers.
But here's the thing. So that's Western Kentucky's defense. Wait till we face better defenses.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait till we face. I mean, we're struggling to put up points against Indiana State and Western. What happens when you play Clemson and Virginia and Georgia Tech?
Your hope, if you're a Louisville fan, has got to be that Malik Cunningham is going to figure out life. Because at this point, he is the opportunity that Louisville has to do anything this year. It rests on that young man's legs and his ability to make enough passes to keep a defense honest.
Conversely, Western couldn't take advantage of our secondary, so we still don't know how good our secondary is. Because Western really couldn't take advantage of their passing game because they had a third-string quarterback. Indiana State, it's Indiana State. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen when we go to Syracuse.
Well,
the team is going to throw the ball around.
Well, and that's going to be the thing, is that we're going to see what this defense can do against a Dino Babers-led speed attack.
Because we know the run defense is suspect.
So your hope is if Malik Cunningham was able to give you 24 points and a half of work against Indiana State, another 20 points, in an effort against Western Kentucky. The hope is that he can do that again, except he's playing the whole game, so now maybe he can give you 35 or 40 points. That is the hope. That is what Louisville was hoping for. That's what Bobby Petrino was hoping and praying for, is that Malik Cunningham is going to be able to do that. But like I said, it's just you just got to hope. I mean, that's literally, because he has looked good. He's done some nice things running the ball. He made a lot more completions the second game than he did the first. We saw, maturity from him in that after completing on 3 passes.
I have a question
2 weeks ago. Yes.
Do you think Bobby pulled Jawan too fast? He had 3. He was 0 for 3 with 1 interception. The interception was his fault because he had come out right in the hands. And it went right through his hands, was intercepted.
I would say no, and the only reason
2 of those passes were drops.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. But the reason why I say no is because, unfortunately, with Jawan Pass in there, nobody respected his ability to run, and it's very difficult to run in that scheme without a lead blocker if you don't have multiple threats in the backfield. Or you're going to utilize the tight end in the passing game more, which after week 1, the tight ends have gone MIA.
Like they did in Lamar Jackson. They were MIA. I mean, Bobby's married to this version of the spread, which I don't think is a very good version of the spread. Because
it's based on having Lamar Jackson, who's otherworldly.
Yeah.
So now you're like, Malik, do what Lamar did.
They get your offensive linemen in zone blocking, but with their size and weight, they'll be better built for blocking downhill.
Power run game.
And they're not doing
road graders. Yeah.
So you're not doing that. Now, they're great pass blockers. And we saw it against Western. Malik had tons of time to throw and guys were open. Malik is just not at that level of being a quarterback where he can hit those guys that they're open.
Right.
And then his wide receivers are dropping passes like they did 2 years ago. Louisville had a problem with the drops. And it's back again. If you look at college football, there's very few coaches that no matter who their staff is, their teams always play well. Alabama's one of those. Nick Saban can get rid of all his staff, bring in all new staff, have all his players get drafted to NFL.
But let me explain.
Bring in new players, and they still play at that super high level.
You know why?
Urban Meyer is number one of those guys.
You know why that happens? Because all those guys found what worked for them.
And they stuck with it.
Bobby Petrino is like Tiger Woods used to do that. He would always try to do something different, change his swing, work on his swing, try to change this, try to do this. Continually and I think besides all the issues that he had off the golf course, I think a lot of that kind of works against you because sometimes when you're trying to perfect perfection, like Bobby Petrino, what he did worked. and he found a ton of success doing it. But he had that specter of, and I really truly think it all goes back to the Michael Vick. When he left to go to Atlanta and he saw the opportunity to coach Michael Vick and have that athletic quarterback run his system, I really and truly believe Michael Vick not being there for him left him with that sour taste in his mouth of what could I do with that type of athlete. And to me, he's been trying to recapture that ever since.
And apparently can't do too much with it.
Horrible.
So now here's the thing, and this is what I was getting to. So outside those two coaches, Urban Meyer, Nick Saban, most other coaches really rely on their staffs. And your staff, especially in football, is very, very important.
Yes.
And I think you're seeing, because this is the first time that Bobby has not either had Paul Petrino or Jeff Brom run the offense.
Well, we've had Mario Urrutia, and several other players say that what's missing from that team is Paul Petrino.
Yeah.
We've heard that.
Without Paul and without Jeff helping him run that offense to bounce ideas off of, now we're kind of seeing like Bobby without those guys. And now we're seeing Bobby with Lonnie Gallishaw and McGee. Both of those guys ran spread offenses. McGee at UAB.
Yes.
And then Gallishaw recently, Galloway
with West Virginia.
At West Virginia. Underneath Dana Holgerson. So now you're kind of seeing that kind of spread influence brought in by the offensive coordinators. Was Bobby picked, his guys, his son's the quarterback coach. It may be a time to look at, maybe we need another offensive coordinator. Maybe need a better spread guy. If you're going to run the spread, you need a better spread guy. That's why I said Rich Rodriguez, because you don't need somebody, one, that can run the spread, two, and I said this when Bobby first got hired. Bobby needs to hire a recruiter. Bobby has to hire a recruiter because Bobby can recruit, but Bobby's big thing is getting transfers and JUCOs. That's not going to cut it.
All I know is this. We can talk about everything that, when you talk about Bobby doing recruiting and Bobby doing this, what makes Bobby Petrino and has made Bobby Petrino has been his ability to call plays, script guys open, run that script, and score touchdowns. Louisville has not been able to. When is the last time you remember Louisville starting off a game with an opening drive touchdown?
Or a dominant first half. Let's just start there. How about a dominant first half?
When is the last time we saw that? I couldn't tell you.
Florida State.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally the last time I can remember Louisville coming out, because everybody used to say Bobby Petrino comes out, his first drive, he gets a touchdown every game. Like, you remember that used to be a thing, that he would come out, he'd have the script.
What was also a thing is that we would start the season, the very first game of the season, you would think it was in mid-season form because execution, the precision was there. Now the first game of the season has been marred by penalties. Against Purdue, penalties.
Yes.
Alabama, penalties.
Yes.
Turnovers, drops. Mm-hmm. We saw last season, the drops, but the season before that, drops. Now it's happened again, drops. Thank God for the fumbles, because for the past couple of years we've averaged 2 fumbles a game. But now we at least got the turnover bug taken care of. But now the drops are back.
Yeah.
Now the penalties are back. And and once again, I'm not going to leave the defense out of this. The defense has kind of gotten a pass because they just play 2 crappy offenses.
Yeah.
And even with those crappy offenses, WKU was still able to run the ball on us.
Yeah.
Consistently run the ball on us.
Indiana State had a nice drive running the football as well.
Several drives running the football on us.
Well, they were at least picking up multiple first downs.
So if they can run on us, what's Virginia going to do? Right. Virginia put up over 500 yards against Ohio. And a lot of you guys out there saying, Ohio, that's Ohio. We couldn't put up 500 yards offense against Western Kentucky.
Right. Couldn't put up 300 yards.
And you can say, Meek didn't play the whole game. I could care less. I could care less.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the issue. And you know what? But like I said, I don't care. I don't care. You want to talk about recruiting. You want to talk about changing offense. I don't care. At the end of the day, this Louisville team versus a very bad ACC needs to win 8 games.
And I don't see it. Maybe Florida State. That's going to be a pillow fight. Florida State and Louisville's going to be like, here, you win. No, you win. No, you win.
I agree.
You win. You win. No, you win. No, you win. I'll win. No, you win.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's going to be who gets stuck with the check at the end of the day. I mean, but it's just for me.
Honestly, who on the schedule got Georgia Tech, the triple option. We know Louisville has a suspect run defense. That's the worst team to play.
Yeah.
We don't know about the secondary, but we do know Syracuse likes to throw it. What's going to happen there?
We'll find out.
Wake Forest is a solid team. I know one thing. Boston College beat us last year, and they shouldn't. But Boston College will whoop our you-know-whats.
Absolutely.
This year. I mean, we could be seeing a Bobby team in year 5 maybe win 5, maybe 7 games.
I mean, you're absolutely right. No, I'm not disagreeing with you that it can't happen. All I'm saying is that in year 5, that's not good enough.
And Bobby's already complaining in his press conference today that I don't think the defense is doing a good job of getting off the field and giving the offense more touches. You're not doing nothing with the touches you get.
Right.
Good Lord.
I mean, but we've seen this before. When the offense struggles, Bobby Petrino's immediate pivot is to start trying to trash the defense.
Here's the thing. If we're going to complain about the defense, then recruit better defensive players. It was your staff and yourself, Bobby, that whiffed on defensive line talent 2 years ago, which is why you had to sign 2 JUCOs and sign every defensive lineman you could possibly find for this go-around. Same thing, offensive lineman. You whiffed on offensive lineman a couple years ago, so you had to do everything you can to get offensive linemen in the class to kind of balance things out. Hire a recruiter, Bobby. Hire a real recruiter. Ron Zook. Somebody that's a known recruiter can get you talent.
I don't want to hear about recruiting because at the end of the day, most of the dudes you recruit, you ain't going to be able to get nothing out of for at least 2 or 3 years. Bobby's not going to be here in 2 or 3 years.
I'm not finished.
Doing this.
I'm not finished.
I don't care about recruiting.
You also need to find an offensive coordinator. I suggest Rich Rodriguez.
Isn't he supposed to be the offensive coordinator? Isn't he supposed to be the offensive genius? Isn't he supposed to be one of the greatest offensive minds to ever?
You know what? Apparently not. That's why I said. Like I said before, when you looked at Bobby, when he was at the top of his game, who was the offense coordinator? It was Paul Petrino from 2003, 2004, and then you had Jeff Brown from 2004 to 2005, right? 2005, 2006. You had Jeff Brown. And apparently that made a big difference. That made a big difference. So you're going to need another top-notch offensive coordinator, another offensive mastermind that you can bounce ideas off of. And if you're going to run the spread, find Rich Rodriguez.
All I know is
somebody that knows how to run the spread. Please, before you walk
Hey, Bobby, look at me.
Because I'm not trying to be like Florida State.
I'm going to put it to you like this. I don't care what you got to do. You need to win at Virginia. Because at the end of the day, it's still Virginia. Sweater vest wearing, Zima drinking, comb over pretty boys from UVA. And while their basketball team is pretty good, their football team is garbage. Win the game. That's all I'm saying. Win the game. Because if you lose that game, you may not win a conference game. I'm just going to put it like that.
Florida State
may not win a conference game.
We can beat Florida State, damn it.
I don't know.
We can beat Florida State.
By the way that they played against Western Kentucky and Indiana State, I don't know.
Florida State's going to be a 12 o'clock kickoff.
It doesn't matter. They can give the ball to Patrick every time.
And it's not going to be like on anybody's network.
Nobody. Somebody said to Twitter that Florida State and Miami was going to be on one of the gas station TVs. That's going to be, and Louisville and Florida State is going to be right next to it on the TV next to it.
That's right.
But you know what? We'll have to see what happens. But to say that this past Saturday was disappointing would be an understatement.
This one was rare times when a win isn't a win. When a win is actually a loss.
And you said that to me in the press box, and I do disagree with that. It may have been ugly, but Louisville's 2-1. It was the ugliest 2-1 in history. But if you can find a way to circle around and right the ship and win these next 3 games, win at UVA, win at home versus Florida State, and then beat Georgia Tech, and you're sitting at 5-1, no one cares how you got there. But you have to win the games. Only at this point, that's all that matters is that you're 5-1 heading into that stretch against Clemson.
Now I'm the starter. He's getting the first team reps. He's getting all the attention. If he can get better at going through his progression reads, because he had guys wide open, he just didn't throw the ball to me.
And then Jalen Smith drops a sure 70-yard touchdown pass, and then got mad at Twitter because they roasted him.
Dude, what do you expect?
Hey,
wide open.
All I know is that all we heard about was the Afros this and the Afros that, and we're better than all Alabama's defensive backs, and every one of our guys can beat every one of their guys. Well, guess what, Jalen? I love you.
But you can't be worse Kentucky guys.
You can't talk all that smack, and then when things don't work out,
get mad at
the fans.
When people call you out.
I'm just saying, speak softly and carry a big stick, because when you start running it and it doesn't work out, people are going to remember that. So,
people remember the
lesson learned, young man. Lesson learned.
That you were wide open. The ball hit you right in the hands, and you whiffed.
I mean, I was about to send out and put an Amber Alert out on Des Fitzpatrick. I don't know where that guy is.
All these dudes disappeared.
Seth Dawkins has been like the only guy that's had a decent season.
It's like Mickey Crumbs disappeared. Cullen Wilson. I don't know. Running backs just disappeared. You know what? This is
it's crazy.
At least we're not Florida State.
That's true.
That's all I can say. At least we're not Florida State. And let's just pray that by the time we play Kentucky, they're beat up and Benny Snell's not healthy, because if he's healthy, good Lord.
Right now, that Louisville-Kentucky game is looking like Kentucky.
Kentucky by a lot. Benny Snell by like 200 yards rushing.
Man, it's scary. I can't see that happening. The last game of the year, Kentucky just coming into Cardinal Stadium and just putting a whooping on Louisville. That would, Bobby wanted to fire Grantham after that Kentucky game. Guess whose head's going to be on the chopping blocks next?
Because your offense. I mean, Bobby been here 5 years.
Buy out of none. I don't care.
The first 3 years you got to pass because it's Strong's players.
But you know what? At this point, all the Jeff Brom people talking about hire Jeff Brom. Jeff Brom is 0-3. So
with a bad loss.
Jeff Brom is 0-3, so I don't want to hear the Jeff Brom people. Because,
Which also is like, who's next? Lane Kiffin? I don't know.
Who knows? I don't know. But all I know is that the University of Louisville has seen themselves and considered themselves to be on the fast track to a national championship in football. Bobby Petrino, you are not holding up a year into the bargain. And you know what? If this season goes the way that it started right now, I think he's pulling out all the stops. I think that's why Malik Cunningham is the quarterback, is because he understands that his job is on the line.
Well, the thing is down that your athletic director, Tom George, who could give you covers, no longer there. So now all your covers gone.
I mean, like I said, it would take.
So now you got to produce.
If Louisville's 5-7, that's grounds for termination, in my opinion.
Ooh, wow, really?
Absolutely. 5-7 is grounds for termination. Absolutely not. In year 5, if you're 5-7, you can go on down to 6 and cedar with everybody else. So we'll see what happens. But I said it because this is what I said before the beginning of the year. I don't care how you get there. Get to 8 wins. I said it before the season, and I would be a hypocrite if I went against that now. I'm saying the same thing then. I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm not saying that you don't have the opportunity. The ACC is hot garbage. Get to 8 wins. 7 wins, I will not be happy with it, but at least you're there. 5 wins? Oh, no.
How about 6?
Absolutely not. 6?
How about 6 in a bowl win?
6, you know what? I'm okay with 6 if Malik Cunningham has a Lamar Jackson-esque coming out party against a team in a bowl game. Then at least you have a little bit of hype. I'd feel much better if it happened with 7 wins like it did for Lamar and they had 7 wins going in against A&M. I would feel better with that. But 6 wins, I'm not going to be happy at all. And they better win that bowl game. I don't care who you play.
Bobby's not good at bowl games.
I'm saying is
that Mississippi State.
Louisville giving Bobby all that money, not taking any shortcuts on what they were deciding to pay him.
And taking a risk on
him and giving him that huge buyout. They stuck their necks out, and now everybody who had anything to do with that decision are gone bye-bye.
So they have no covers. So
Bob Bendapudi is not playing that.
So Robert
is Vince Tyree.
Robert, get it together, Robert. Robert, I got faith in you. Hire a good offensive coordinator. I'm telling you, Rich Rodriguez, go find a great spread. If you don't run the spread, fine. Just find somebody who knows how to run the spread and let them run it. And then recruit guys to whatever system you're trying to do. Instead of recruiting guys to your old system.
Please.
Because if you went back to your old system, you have all the pieces in place. I'm just saying. I'm just going to put that out there like this pizza. I'm just let it sit there, Bobby.
Nobody wanted to hear Luther Vandross singing the fast songs. Everybody wanted Luther Vandross singing the love ballads.
And nobody wanted Luther Vandross skinny while I want him fat.
No, you wanted fat Luther singing the love songs.
With the curl, with the S curl.
Right. Quit trying to be skinny Luther having a party and go back to If This World Was Mine. Please.
Thank you. For the Main Event Sports Show. Hey, tell us what you think about Bobby Petrino. Tell us what you think about Louisville's offense. Leave a comment below. I want to hear from you. I want you to tell us what you think. If Bobby only wins 5 games, should it be gone? Would you give him another year? You know what? Let us know. Tell us. And we'll actually talk back to you in the comments. Thank you for tuning in to Main Event Sports Show. Peace.